Damn, she ugly. You're just saying that because she's fat.
5 months ago, I published a video titled How Illuminati Ended Her Career in 7 Seconds, where I discussed the disgusting and predatory behavior of a once respected YouTuber, Illuminati. But things have since got a whole lot worse. So bad that she's resorted to sending out legal threats and even personally censoring me, I won't be silenced. Hi, I'm the Internet Anarchist. I create weekly YouTube documentaries, and today we'll be dropping the content nuke on Illuminati, a million-sub YouTuber who managed to hit rock bottom and dig herself even deeper.
Damn, she really hit hard. Damn, look at that plateau. Oh, you can't see it. Look, it's plateaued completely out.
To get a clear understanding on the recent developments in Blair's downfall, we first have to take a look at her latest targets for legal abuse, her ex-boyfriend, Oz Media. On the 16th of September 2023, following a cease and desist letter, Oz would upload a video titled, Let's Talk, an update on Illuminati.
A cease and desist from your ex-boyfriend? Where do people get this kind of money to like just get cease and desist and stuff?
Drama. A video that was intended to give viewers further context about his upcoming 3-hour-long video on Blair, as well as recording
3 hours? Yo, chat, you ever put on a 3-hour like a video off YouTube and you clean the house and stuff? I've done that a few times too.
Her ongoing efforts to ruin his life.
First and foremost, I need to make everyone aware, for reasons that I hope this update will make clear, for my safety, I need to put a short and temporary pause on production of my video on Illuminati. The video will still of course be produced. I just need to put things on a lower burn and return to regular content for the time being, for many reasons. Some of them being the honest truth that I can't afford to continue at this rate, both fiscally and physically.
The first quarter of the video was spent on recounting events that led him, members of Sad Milk, and Blair to the predicament that they now found themselves in. He also explained his need to continue posting other forms of content to support himself while gathering information on Blair's past.
I've put a lot of things—
Oh my god, digging up dirt. The drama, YouTube drama.
—in my life on hold to produce this video, ending up with nearly 110 pages of a manuscript which details as much of what I can. And
110 pages? I think I wrote a 100-page thesis like in freaking college once. No, actually, no, it wasn't 100, it was 50 pages. 50 pages.
Let me tell you something. Converting this monstrosity into a video with its accompanying 5,000 screenshots has been one hell of a monumental task for me, a one-person team to embark on. As a quick note, Blair's name is not on any of the original documents related to my home. I'm providing all of this information to give full context to the GoFundMe as I feel it's more than deserved.
Holy, he got over the goal too. I didn't realize people really cared about this kind of thing.
Honestly, I would feel guilty as hell putting the video on pause shortly after it hit its funding goal, followed by me just continuing to upload regular content without warning.
Oz went on to present some shocking details about his relationship with Blair, and methods of manipulation that she used not just to gain control over his home, but his entire life as well.
Crazy women. Classic.
Even though these are allegations, they followed Blair's tendency to take advantage of other people. And the fact Oz acknowledged that his video could end up in a courtroom leads credibility to his message. According to Oz, at the start of their relationship, Blair coerced him into taking on several poor financial decisions, like co-signing loans with her and paying—
Oh my god, chat, don't ever co-sign anything, man. My parents didn't even want to co-sign with me for like a new car. And I'm not mad at them, by the way. It's just like, if something happens, like, I don't know, I break my legs and I don't have a job anymore, for example, and I can't pay off the debt, then they're in shit too. So, like, we just agreed not to. It's really sad when that kind of thing happens. And don't ever co-sign. Even with family, I can kind of understand it, but with randoms like girlfriends and things, like, oh no, brother, ew.
Paying a deposit for a custom multi-million-dollar home, Blair was exploiting his good credit score for her own selfish gain, and in the process ruined it, which eventually put Oz in debt.
I'm 23, almost.
He had good credit score and now he's in the shitter. Dude, even with a family, it's so bad. You don't do that shit.
24. In the beginning, Blair walked me into several poor financial decisions. My naivety caused me to believe her reassurances that I could handle all of the financial obligations being dropped onto my shoulders by someone more experienced in life than I was. Why these obligations were placed onto me? At the time, Blair had bad credit, so all of the purchases, loans...
Okay, skill issue. Sorry, you're my girlfriend. I'm not gonna co-sign with you. Again, this is in hindsight. Maybe he was only 21 when this happened, so... Maybe she's older, I don't even know.
Everything was being placed in my name. This included the car that she purchased, then revoked from Wonderstruck. I was on the loan as a co-signer only because of my credit at the time. Eventually though, the financial responsibilities that I incurred would stack up on me, building a mountain of monthly debt that would lead me into several financially tight months, and eventually just breaking. This would lead me to asking Blair, my partner, for financial help. Financial help for things such as my home, which she was living in. Help from my partner, who at any given time would be making up to 30 times my monthly income. These amounts of assistance would be added to a ledger of debt.
And she told him to go fuck himself. Nah, she's using you, Doug. Or she was using you.
I want to clarify again. Blair wasn't my bank. She wasn't my landlord. She was my partner at this time.
Blair not only devastated Oz's credit score, but also sought to extend her influence over his life. She wanted to have complete control over Oz, and the debt she created was only one part of her cruel plan. Blair isolated Oz by spreading gossip about his unfortunate financial situation with everyone they knew, and
why would you do that? That is some crazy narcissistic manipulation, man.
Even convinced him to be grateful for the quote assistance he received from her. Once Oz's debt to Blair had grown to almost $180,000.
How do you even spend that much money? What?
He decided to start working for both her main channel and crypto farm in order to have any hope of repaying the loan.
Oh my god, and he got involved in crypto. I feel bad for him, man. That's so stupid. Getting played like that, like man or woman getting played like that is so sad.
This led Oz to abandon his own channel in service of Blair's, but unfortunately, it wasn't enough.
I avoided telling anyone who could have helped me see what was happening out of fear of further confirmation.
Yeah, that's a classic manipulator tactic too. To make them feel like they can't go to anyone, because if they go to anyone, it will unveil like the play that they're doing. Very typical.
Her eyes looking down on me. Something to note, when you're around Blair, your world revolves around her. In my case, my home was hers, despite her name not being on it. I had no friends out in Colorado, a state that I moved to at the behest of Blair.
I knew a guy like this in high school who got treated like this. Not to this extent, but basically everything revolved around her, and then she turns out she's a freaking narcissist and a manipulator who just lied to him, to his face, to essentially get what she wanted, and like tore him away from the friend group because it's easier to control someone when they're isolated. He basically just started dissociating from the friend group because he was like, oh, I don't want to be around other girls and other guys like that. They don't mean as much to me as my girlfriend. And we were like, obviously, like really freaked out and like, that's not okay, but oh, you do you, man. And then it turns out that she's a freaking manipulator and just lies.
Only Blair's friends were out here. All of my connections had to be approved by her. I wasn't allowed to be friends with people she didn't like, such as Click in One Topic, or even Wonder, once that bridge was burned and reduced to cinders. I was even in a position where my finances were nearly entirely controlled by her, from what debts I took on, to later being the fact that she was the person who signed my paychecks. All while my world was painted to me in a light where I should be grateful for her generosity.
By December of 2022, Blair took further advantage of Oz's predicament and convinced him to sign a document that was far from being in his best interests.
When I was 23 and Blair was nearly 31, Blair...
That is such a red flag. She's so much older than him. Like, yeah, it's legal, but the dynamic is so different. 8-year difference is a bit much. 8-year difference if you're 36 and 34 and he's 41 is actually not... they're in different development cycles, if that makes sense. People who abuse their like age and their knowledge of life by being older is very common when you're in different stages of life. The difference between someone who's 33 and 42 is not that different. You might be in a little bit of a different cycle of your life, but you know better because you're older. When you're 23 and you're like in college and you're 31 and you're starting your career, it's completely different. I think that's grooming. 100%. And not in like you can't be a child. If you're a child, you're getting groomed, and if you're an adult, you're not getting groomed. That's not true either.
With her lawyer would create an honestly quite confusing legal document for me to sign where I would agree to pay back her debt. Blair, being the person who signed my checks, knew that I couldn't afford legal representation. Blair also knew that the $2,500 that she was having me pay monthly towards that debt was almost as much as I was making monthly working for her. This would mean that I could barely pay for anything else in my life other than the debt that I...
Yeah, and that's perfect because then you're completely dependent on her. And she knows that. That is so bad. That's so bad.
I owed her. Everything I made working for her was going right back into her pocket. Blair would bring me to her lawyer's office, put me in a room alone with the two of them.
That's not a girlfriend. That's a landlord, man. Like, that's cold.
With papers in front of me. Papers which I foolishly signed for me.
Human traffickers use this tactic. Yo, you're completely right, actually. Because they're technically giving you money, but the debt that they owe you is like, it's like almost in servitude. Yeah, modern slavery, yep.
Myriad of reasons ranging from Blair expressing that this would mend our relationship, that it was the right thing for me to do.
Money mending the relationship. Oh, I love that. Yeah, that sounds healthy.
This would also protect her legally and prevent her from getting into trouble with the IRS. She also would describe to me, and while I can't remember if this exact word was ever used, she essentially explained to me that because she used company funds to assist me, that she had committed embezzlement. And by converting the amount that I owed her into a loan with her company, this would save her skin legally.
In the 3 years that they spent together, Blair orchestrated the demise of Oz's credit history, isolated him from his support network, and got him to sign away whatever chance he had from escaping her prison of debt.
Oh my god, dude, this bitch is evil.
Even though things seemed bleak, there's still a silver lining. Prior to uploading this video, Oz set up a GoFundMe to help pay for living expenses while he created his documentary on Blair and covered the inevitable legal fees that he would face in his battle to keep his home. As of this recording, Oz has surpassed his funding goals and currently sits at $44,000 raised. Considering the details on Blair's alleged crimes that Oz intended to share, it only made sense that she would try to cripple him financially, just like what she did with Wonderstruck. Blair feels threatened by Oz and is more than desperate to keep—
She has a history too, huh? Of manipulating a lot of boys. Oh, boys, I'm so hot and single. She's basically pimping them out, man.
keep him quiet while she frames
Modern
herself as
pimping.
being the victim. With Discord screenshots reading, "The worst part, honestly, is that Oz worked for me, worked with a team, and he knew that doing this would hurt their livelihoods. Like, you want to be a bitter ex that's mad I moved on and found love? Fine, go to therapy. Doing this to get back at me or punishing me for leaving him? It's insane. I still cared about him. I didn't realize he was
Yeah, you really cared about the money he was giving you. That's right. Yeah,
the one
definitely.
masterminding this. He's mainly doing it because he owes me almost $200,000 that he took from me. Like, goddamn, we broke up at the end of 2021-ish, and when I finally started to see someone new in January, he broke into my computer and read through my Discord DM
Broke into my computer. I bet you just left it open. I bet you $100 she left the house and he just opened the computer. No password, no nothing. Oh, he broke into my computer. Wait.
to find messages. He found them, lost his shit, told my employees I, quote, cheated, and told them the channel is going to fall apart in a couple of months and to look for new jobs. He plotted this from the start, with a brainwashed member of the Discord server saying, "Wow, that's psychotic." These are leaked screenshots from Blair's private Discord server from a user by the name of FPS Diesel, and they perfectly picture Blair's need to bend the truth in order to satisfy her own ego, even if she was the one that lied, manipulated, and used someone else that she previously called a partner. As horrible as that might sound, this isn't the first time Blair abused her boyfriend, as the one that came before Oz suffered
History of relationship abuse. Chat, remember, abuse is not just about physical, it's always about mental. Physical it like transitions into usually.
an equally terrible fate. On the 6th of June 2023, a
Mental is
YouTuber
more
by the name
common.
of Swoop released a documentary that brought to light one of Blair's previous relationships
Swoop?
that went unnoticed during recent times, but in retrospect, foreshadowed many of the patterns of abuse and manipulation that we've seen recently. According to the allegations and information from the interview that Swoop conducted, Blair and a retired YouTuber named Azothan dated for around 2 years and 6 months. While things were relatively pleasant at the start, it was only a matter of time before Blair began to show her true colors. During
That's also a classic tactic. A classic tactic of abuse. Being really, really nice and then flipping a switch after when people get comfortable.
the relationship, Blair would,
Mm-hmm.
quote, take me to Vegas to confess her love, but had a backup ticket to send me home that night if I didn't reciprocate, unquote.
What?
Once the pair had settled in together,
Dude,
Blair would
this is
attempt to
so
control his
bad.
life even further, as she, quote, demand I spend my time exclusively playing Dark Souls 3 with her in my free time. Any attempt to go out to parties, karaoke, or just make any social and emotional ties other than her were met with punishment, unquote. The punishment that
What?
Azothan was referring to took the form of Blair verbally abusing him, ignoring him for weeks while she went off to a party with other men she met on Snapchat,
And they put up with this. I don't know. I do feel bad for men, like in the sense that, like, well, not men, just like in general, you can get into these relationships where you don't think you could do any better. Like she's conventionally attractive when she puts on makeup and puts on a smile, but some men have such low self-esteem, and women, of course, it happens to women too, where you think you just can't do any better and you want to, like, you just want to stay with them because you're scared. It sucks. Getting broken up with does suck.
and then alluding to all the, quote, fun she had without him when they resumed contact.
What a
At some
bitch,
point,
though.
Blair
What?
promised to do a collab video with Azothan, since she had a much larger audience that could help increase his reach on YouTube. Sadly, when it was time to follow through on those promises, Azothan was met with some serious pushback.
What I'm saying is that I was angry about the fact that you were the one who proposed a collaboration, and then as soon as I was ready and put all this effort into it, you just kind of shut me down. It just seemed...
So it had nothing to do with the fact that I go, oh, I'm moving, I'm busy, I'm doing every single day. The only thing
There we go. Accusatory. Instantly defensive.
you had to ask me is, when are we collabing? When are we collabing? When are we collabing? And
The classic.
it's like, oh, you're treating me like a fan, Blair. I'm like, well, perhaps you should have stopped acting like one.
You want to say you don't attack me, but then you straight up cook and call me a liar over things that you are no 100% true. I'm done with it. I'm done with you.
Because God knows why, because you're bitter about a breakup because your cash cow left you. Like,
By this point, Their relationship was over, but Blair's abrasive attitude towards Azothan wasn't the only contributing factor. Before they broke up, Blair had an obsession with taking down two particular creators that were growing faster than her and made similar Reddit-based content. From the 19th to the 23rd of April 2019, in two now-deleted videos, Azothan addressed Blair's efforts to destroy the reputation of a competitor named Miserybox, even using the ensuing controversy to boost her own YouTube.
I hate people that do this kind of thing. Like, competition is supposed to be about outdoing one another on, like, making content or making a product, not literally sabotaging each other. Like, imagine a restaurant opens next door and you don't make better food, you burn down the place. It's so cringe. Like, ew. What are you doing?
It's important to call out bullying, lying, doxing, and threats. Unfortunately, I'm here to tell you that Illuminati has engaged in all of these behaviors. I feel that I must state up front that for the last 2.5 years, I was involved in a romantic relationship with the YouTuber known as Illuminati. This relationship ended recently, and while none of the facts stated here are related to that association, it would be dishonest for me not to state this immediately.
He continued by explaining Blair's motivation for attacking another creator, as well as her slow descent into obsession that eroded their already weakening relationship. When confronted with the harsh reality of her own actions, Blair defaulted to throw Azothan under the bus in order to save her own skin.
And I asked you a simple yes or no question. Were you talking ill of me to other content creators? I even said I didn't think you were. It was just...
The answer is no.
I don't understand.
But now it's...
dodged it.
Now it might change to a yes because now I'm gonna have to protect my ass.
Another point worth
Dude, I know this is probably going to sound like really mean, but I think that dating other content creators 99% of the time ends up really badly. Because if you break up, that's just like your entire network gets fucked, like everyone around you is uncomfortable. It's super bad. Yeah, like celebrity relationships. Yeah, that's actually a good analogy.
No.
Two egos together don't match. Yes, I do think that's also very true. One of them has to be like the one that's submissive, in my opinion, or the one that doesn't get as much attention. I know there are content creator couples that exist, but one of them has to put aside their ego, or they have to have a really good relationship and be normal.
Is that during Blair's quest to tarnish Miserybox's image, she took audio assets from his former Discord mods and refused to credit them. She even went as far as threatening them if they spoke out about it. If he stood in Blair's way, didn't give her what she wanted, or called her out on her borderline psychotic behavior, she would use any and every method possible to get her perverse revenge, even if it meant using past trauma against you. Quoting, Blair and I...
Yeah, and don't ever reveal it, like, your trauma. Don't get close to people like that. They will turn against you on a fucking dime.
I had a phone call where she told me that I was beneath her, that I was always going to be mediocre, and that she was better than that. About her calling me mediocre and a burden, those words were the exact ones I used 5 months before when I attempted to... From the revelations during the Sad Milk controversy to the strikingly similar allegations brought forward by two of Blair's ex-boyfriends, it seems like it doesn't matter who she has to hurt or what lies she has to spread, as long as she has something to gain from it. Manipulating and then discarding friends or colleagues once they'd outlived their usefulness. For a time, that strategy worked out pretty
ruthless behavior. Climbing up the YouTube corpo ladder, you know?
Effectively for her, as she ruthlessly dominated the MLM niche and made millions in ad revenue. Tragically, what goes up must come down, and currently, Blair's Machiavellian empire has certainly come crashing down. Following the many allegations stacked against Illuminati's brand, Blair's only remaining friend group, the Leftist Mafia, severed all ties with her on their latest podcast appearances.
You can't do this to people and then just not respond. Like, there needs to be accountability, there needs to be an apology, and like, I believe in restorative justice, but in my opinion, Blair has not even started to take those steps for restorative justice. She hasn't.
Why would she? She literally has no remorse and no conscience. Do these people not in retrospection, I feel like you should realize that she's a fucking schizo. She's a psycho.
I genuinely don't even know if she thinks that what she did is wrong.
On the 26th of July 2023, an anti-MLM creator, I Cruel World Happy Mind, further expanded on her own unpleasant experiences with Blair. in a video titled "The Fall of Illuminati, YouTube's Biggest Bully."
I am sorry that I was ever friends with you.
Did you see Legal Eagle was accused of plagiarism by another
Oh yeah, this whole drama was laughable. So low IQ.
YouTuber called Illuminati?
I can completely understand why she would be compared to Creepshow Art after this situation.
She went from seeming to be petty to seeming to be outright malicious and full-on evil.
This is a perpetual onslaught of accusations backed by convincing evidence by the people who knew her best.
She outlined Blair's.
For those that don't know, the whole Legal Eagle thing is that he had a method of highlighting things using an editing tool, and she called him out and said that he was copying her editing style. You can't copyright an editing style. You having text on the screen and then a highlighter like going over the key words on a screen is not copying. You stupid bitch. And to top it all off, the Legal Eagle is also a lawyer. Why would you attack a lawyer? You dumb bitch.
Slander campaign against her as she was going through a very stressful pregnancy, something that Blair was very much so aware of, attacking her at the slightest opportunity for pointing out similarities in video topics covered.
I was terrified of losing my baby. The doctors were just urging me to stay healthy and limit my stress. And then all of a sudden, I end up in one of the most stressful dramas I have ever experienced, where someone is trying to ruin my career and attack me online. And it feels like they have so much more power than I have that there is nothing I can do about it.
Cruel World Happy Mind wasn't the
Oh my god.
only anti-MLM creator that came out with allegations of Blair's misconduct and content theft.
And we had multiple group chats full of other creators, other people who weren't even creators, who were just like really into researching MLM stuff. Like we had,
and the stress also can make you miscarry as well. Like that's super sad. Super sad. They should have answered with "copy these nuts in your mouth" and "shut up, bitch." Yeah, well, he's a lawyer. He's probably just probably being polite.
Had a lot of people behind the scenes digging up a bunch of stuff, for lack of a better term. And one of the group chats I was in was also the group chat that had like all the mods to a Facebook group that we had called Boo Is Woo. And
what does MLM mean in this context? I think it's a style of like YouTube videos where like you do voiceovers and talk about stuff. If I'm not mistaken, correct me if I'm wrong. Oh, multi-level marketing? Oh, okay. I guess I misunderstood. Pyramid schemes. Yeah, I guess I didn't really understand.
They one day sent a message to the group chat and was like, by the way, just so you guys know, Blair/Illuminati's writer just requested to join the group. I denied them. And obviously, literally the reason why, and I think she even says it in the messages, I sent you the screenshots, but I'm pretty sure she straight up is like, after what she did to Madison, like, we don't want to help Blair. We don't want anything to do with her. Like, we've been working too hard on this.
Yeah.
At this point, I'd have been like already scripting my deep dive for a week or two, maybe. Like, I mean, just kind of organizing everything, like so
and
much.
It's more so just knowing that she probably was not going to credit you guys, like, properly.
That's exactly what it was. Yeah.
Blair didn't stop there and copied information from Savannah's Olive Tree video a few weeks later. While all these and many more allegations were being put forward, Blair's channel had rightfully been withering away. In addition to the massive 330,000 subscribers lost, the average
wow, that's a lot.
video on her channel only gets about 20.
That's more subs than I have on YouTube, man. Losing that all in 1 month?
views. And on closer inspection, it seems like she's been deleting comments that referenced her downfall. The decline in engagement is rather ironic when you realize that Blair's channel is about to be surpassed by The Click, a creator that she once tried to destroy in every metric possible: average viewership, sub count, and channel engagement. To make matters worse, users on Twitter have begun informing Blair's sponsors of her misconduct. At Mint Mobile, you need to drop Illuminati from your sponsors list. She has done things that aren't becoming of your brand. can't, and you shouldn't want her to represent you. As well as another screenshot showing someone reaching out to ExpressVPN who they themselves stated that they wouldn't be working with her anymore. In the past, almost all of Blair's videos had included at least one sponsorship, but that doesn't seem to be the case anymore. Only a select few of her recent uploads feature a sponsor, and the rest include Blair promoting her Patreon.
Yeah, these are really bad numbers. For 1 million subs, 18K at like 1 week. Ugh.
Subscription. Speaking of Patreon, Blair has steadily been losing paid subscribers since the controversy began back in April. Money was always something that Blair would do anything to get, and now it seems like she's losing it by the truckload. Her viewership has plummeted to record lows, sponsors are dropping her, and now she's bleeding Patreon members on a daily basis. Blair built her pyramid-shaped empire on the backs of her closest friends and fellow creators.
Little does she know she's the pyramid scheme. She was the one scamming everyone.
While also harshly censoring them when they tried to speak up. She weaponized her influence and subscriber base to bully others into getting whatever her heart desired, and felt no remorse for doing so. It was this exact lack of remorse and overinflated ego.
Dude. The fucking flags in the fucking Twitter bio, man. This shit writes itself, I swear.
That led her to pick a fight with Legal Eagle, which ended up giving her past victims the courage to speak out. It started with The Click, then Wonderstruck, all the way to Oz Media. Creators that she stole from like Cruel World Happy Mind and Savannah Marie made their voices heard. All it took was Blair making one impulsive tweet that pulled back the curtains on her dark past, abusing her power.
It's not just an impulsive tweet. She doubled down and said that Legal Eagle was wrong. The guy that does content on laws.
Was Blair's blueprint for getting ahead on YouTube, but it was also the reason for her downfall. Now, the channel that she spent years cultivating is a shadow of its former self, and there's still the matter of Oz's feature-length documentary that might prove to be the final nail in Blair's corporate casket. Subscribe.
What the fuck was that? Hello? Subscribe. Internet Anarchist, finish your videos, you fuck! Subscribe. And now I'm not gonna subscribe. What an abrupt ending, bro. Subscribe. He might have cut to something. I know, it's just funny. Subscribe. Ooh, 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 chat. Ooh. Ew, brother, ew, ew. Minus 10K every month. Rip Bozo, rest in piss.